This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvietto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orviettosawards.com. Orvietto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Slomin Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Slomin Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Slomin Shield.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices. South Florida, listen carefully. Osmani Garcia with Omega Realty Group is changing the game. He's not just listing homes. He's guaranteeing to sell yours in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it himself. No excuses, no delays, no fine print games. This is real. If you're serious about selling, Call 305-440-1990 and see if your home qualifies. Osmani Garcia delivers results. Osmani Garcia, the home of the 30-day sale guaranteed, where guarantees are backed by action. Call now, don't wait. This market won't wait for you. Restrictions apply. Call 305-440-1990.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rome. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rome can help.
Where can you drive a new Acura ZDX for only $439 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Welcome aboard, folks. Yes, sir. I think we got it going on there. There we go. Okay. All right. First of all, give me the thumbs up on the audio because I am flying solo. No Sean Stanley. It's like 11:30 at night. I'm the nutbag that's going to do this. I'm not going to, torture Sean and put him up here in the middle of the night. So make sure we got audio going. Are we kosher? Okay, we got the thumbs up. Thank you to all out there. The Dolphins made their pick. They made their trade, and they made the move. And throughout the offseason, I had a little fun. And throughout the offseason, I said, it's all about the fat boys. It's time to stop being the disorderlies. Okay, and that's a play on words, obviously, because back in the 80s, there was a rap band by the name of the Fat Boys, and they had a movie called The Disorderlies. And so I said for months now that I wanted the Fat Boys. Why? Because the Miami Dolphins have been the disorderlies for years. They don't necessarily, take care of the trenches. And yesterday you had Kenneth Grant go to help the trenches, put him right next to Sealer. And today, Jonah Savaiinaea, I'm going to say that's how it is pronounced, Savaiinaea. And that's exact. Look, you got to have a lineman like the Booker kid, right, from LSU. Some people were talking about him for the Dolphins. He doesn't fit what you need. Yeah, he's a mauler, but inside a phone booth. So here you need to become more of a physical team and be able to maul people and push people around. Savaiinaea can do that. But in this offense, you also need to be able to move to the second level, something Savaiinaea can also do. So he fits perfectly what you want to do. And as for the trade, first and foremost, okay, so because I get people and they're overreacting about the trade and all that kind of stuff. Okay, folks, they moved up from the 37 spot, from the 48 spot to the 37 spot. Okay. They moved up 11 spots and all they gave up was the 98th pick. That's it. The 135, They got back 143, so they swapped 8 spots. 135, 143. Dude, we're splitting hairs here. It's not people have been hitting me. Oh my God, they gave up so much. No, they gave up one big pick in order to move up, and that's it. And they wanted to make sure they got the guy that they think fits their scheme. And he does, actually. He does fit their scheme. But the problem with a lot of you, like I said on the first night, if you watched the show and I explained it more, too many of you are putting the weight of the world on this draft. Okay? And this draft isn't going to save you from shit. You're hoping that you can have players that translate into the next coaching staff. Okay? Let's be honest. And this kid can play guard. James Daniels, if he does come back from the foot injury, which he's scheduled to come back from it, they added another tough dude in the interior that can move people. They added another tough dude in Jonah Savaiinaea that can move people and is athletic. They added another guy in Kenneth Grant that can move people and is athletic. They needed to add toughness to this team. It's what we've been talking about. They needed to add the fat boys, and they added the fat boys because they've just been the disorderlies the entire time. They've been a disaster because they don't pay attention to the line. This is why they never go deep into the playoffs. This is why they never win playoff games. This is why they're not tough, because they don't win at the line of scrimmages. Once in a while, they'll have a D line, but they never have the O line. So now you made the commitment that you needed to make, and you got yourself your 2 guards. You have your tackles already. You have your center already. So now you're all right. You have your 2 starting defensive tackles. You've got all your pass rushers. So you're not so bad right now in those kind of areas. You're all right. Do they have other holes? Of course, they've got a bunch of holes. Can Mike McDaniel coach? Mike McDaniel can't coach out of a goddamn paper sack, dude. But you know what I mean? That no draft pick is going to make Mike McDaniel a good coach. He's not going to get plays in on time just because he gets another draft pick in there that you don't even know will help or not or whatever. He's not. His offenses still aren't going to be prepared. Okay, he's still not going to get a play in on time for his quarterback. He still won't win challenges. None of this will change who you have coaching the team. So stop putting and overreacting on everything that goes on in this draft. Oh my God, they took a defensive tackle. They could have taken an offensive tackle. They could have taken one of the top corners. What does it matter? They still needed the defensive tackle. They can't solve all their holes. That's not going to happen. No matter what they tell you, it's just they've put themselves in an impossible position. So enjoy the draft. I think you got 2 really good players. I really do. I think you got really 2 good players. Now, is that going to make Mike McDaniel a good coach? No, dude. No. Jonah Savaiinaea will see better coaching next year. In 26, not now in 25. Hopefully next year. Hopefully they hire the right person, But my point is, relax. Too many of you are making it night. Oh my God, we've got to make the playoffs and win playoff games, and you're not going to do any of that. So stop it already. Okay? You filled it. They didn't really pay much. They paid what they're supposed to pay in order to move up. That's it. And there was a swap with the other ones. It's not a big deal. Too many people overreact on the trade. The trade they did not overpay. As long as the kid comes in and kicks ass, everything works out. That's all that matters. As long as Kenneth Grant comes in and kicks ass, that's all that matters. We're at a point where we just need to see players make an impact. And by the way, these are players that translate to the next, whatever coaching staff comes next. They're not specialized guys. Kenneth Grant can be on the field for all 4 downs if you feel like it. This kid is going to start. This kid will start. A scout told me he's going to start right away. This kid can play. So I haven't I haven't sent a bunch of message, but I sent to one guy that I know is watching, and we're going back and forth a little bit, and he loved the guy. And he loved him. He goes, no, they got themselves a hell of a player there. So that's all I can tell you. It's just not something that you need to just, again, don't put the weight of the world on this draft. It's not lifting the Dolphins to any great heights or anything. We're just hoping that they find good players that you can build on for the future. And that's it. Okay? You had your shot the last couple of years. This team won't come close to the team 2 years ago or even last year. So you have gone on a decline the last couple of years, and you've lost a whole bunch of leadership. They're not making it up in this draft and whatever's left in free agency. I'm sorry. We have to live in reality, and too many of you don't live in reality. But you got two really good players. I really like what they selected. Okay, the coaching, that's a whole other ballgame. But this kid can move. Okay, this kid is tough. This guy fits exactly what they do here. And Grant is a monster next to Sealer. You got as I told you yesterday, a kid that can disrupt and a kid that can also hold up. So he does it all. He does everything you want a defensive tackle to do. You need him to hold up the center and a guard. He can do that easily with no problem whatsoever. You need him to twist and penetrate and create havoc. He can do that too at the same time. Both he and Sealer can do a lot of the same things. You're going to see them move around. You know what I mean? So this is a really good pick. It's a really good pick. Really good pick. We have so much pent-up anger, pent-up frustration from whatever. If you're 20, if you're 30, if you're 40, if you're in your 50s like I am, or in your 60s, we've been dealing with a lot of shit for many years, and it's just pent-up frustration, and you got to stop putting all the frustrations of the past into this offseason, into this draft. Just stay in the moment, enjoy. I'm pretty sure you got yourself a damn good player last 2 days that will make this team tougher and better in the interior, something that they have sucked forever. So I don't know what more you guys want from all of this. You're not going to get a stud team. You can forget about that. So the more you come back to live in the reality and where we're really at right now with this team, can they surprise us? Yeah, sure. Anything can happen any given Sunday and all that other garbage that you want to throw out there. But come on, man. Don't forget, folks, you can support the show many ways. Nearly 300 people are watching. We got 73 likes. Come on, man. Hit that like button, please, please, please. That's a good way to get the algorithms out there. More Dolphin fans will check it out. So they can follow us. So please hit the hell out of that like button. It's very important. You can also make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. There you go. There's the Venmo you can use. Use the QR code, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, even Solana and Chainlink now actually on Venmo, which is pretty amazing. So we'd appreciate it. As always, we have the super chats, but YouTube takes 30%. So that's why we encourage Cash App and Venmo as always. And we thank you all out there, especially for tuning in late at night. Okay. Let's see. I see Gus 1388. Yeah, the Shadur Sanders thing. Talk about a kid that must be one major prick in an interview. Because, okay, they passed him over in the first round. All right. Drew Brees fell down into the second round. Joe Montana fell into the third round. We can go on and talk about all the quarterbacks that have fallen out and the whole Tom Brady bullshit and all that crap. But this is a message that's being sent, and I personally like the kid as a passer. Sorry. I think the kid can play at this level. You put a line in front of him, he's tough as nails. He played with no line there in Colorado, took a beating and was tough as nails, dude. Okay? So I think he can play, but clearly whatever entitled attitude he must have displayed, it must have turned the shit out of people off. Because now he has fallen into the third day of the draft. Dude, Cleveland passed him up over and over and over again. And they had like multiple picks here in the last couple of rounds. They at the end, they took Dylan Gabriel with the 94th pick in the third round. Jalen Milroe went to Seattle, the Bama kid at 92. Tyler Show from Louisville went at number 40. Jason Dart, as the Giants traded back in, which that was like amazing. And they took him at 25. I was sure they weren't taking Shadur because they took the two veterans, but they saw that Dart was falling and they said, they did the same thing that the Ravens did with Lamar. They loved Lamar, and they went back in and traded into the first round and took Lamar to get that fifth year, and that's exactly what the Giants are going to do. I don't know if I want Jackson Dart around those two guys because those are kind of oddballs, but it's just amazing that Cam Ward, Dart, Show, Milroe, and Gabriel are all gone off the board, and Shadur Sanders is still there. That is like, holy crap, dude. Man. We saw Brady Quinn fall. We saw Aaron Rodgers fall to the late first round. We've seen guys fall, okay, that were like pumped up and hyped up and all that kind of stuff. Montana wasn't necessarily hyped up when he fell to the third round. That was just kind of where he was at that time. Wasn't viewed as that kind of prospect. You know what I'm saying? Russell Wilson obviously wasn't viewed as that kind of prospect, third round. In fact, I remember that year, I always tell the story. Tony Softly, friend of mine who was in personnel with the Rams and with the Carolina Panthers. At the time, he was with the Panthers. He had left the Rams. And we're smoking cigars. He's retired now. He lives in Seattle with his family. And we're smoking cigars, and we're at Nikki Blaine's. And I'm asking him about Russell Wilson because everybody that year was telling me, oh, I like him a lot. I think he'll be a terrific backup. That was the company line, scouts, general managers, person. And he was I believe at that time, he was the college director of scouting, I believe, for the Carolina Panthers. And he goes to me that there aren't 30, that his line was, there aren't 32 better in the NFL than him right now. I draft him. So, and he was, by the way, he's the reason why they drafted Steve Smith. So like he was one of the scouts that was like all over Steve Smith back in the day. And so anyway, so it's just one of those things where you just never know. And sometimes guys fall. We talked about it today on the show. Matt Hasselbeck fell all the way to the 6th round. They draft him and then they develop him and they trade him for a first rounder to Seattle. Crazy shit. So what's going on now with Shadur? Wow. I mean, it is mind blowing. By the way, I am going to run something for a couple seconds because I have got to turn on the AC, folks. So Do me a favor and give me 30 seconds.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
So you really wonder what's going on with the whole Shadur Sanders situation. And you know, I've lived it long enough where I saw Jack Elway with the whole John Elway situation, that he didn't want the Colts. I saw the whole Archie Manning with Eli Manning, that they didn't want to go to the Chargers and they ended up with the Giants. And that worked out when the fathers were the jerks. This time, it wasn't the father. The father stayed away, and the son went and handled it on his own. And clearly, he might. I don't know what he told them in interviews, but the stories that are going to come out soon will probably be legendary. Okay, it's probably what it's going to be. There's probably we're gonna hear all kinds of stories as time goes on, because you pissed off an entire league, dude. An entire league. Trump is actually going crazy. I think he's going to have an executive order about, you know, they better draft him or something like that. It's insanity. Everybody's got an opinion on it. And you just wonder what the hell happened, because, okay, look, whether you like, I like the kid as a passer. I think he can pass. I think he's terrific. He's tough as nails. I think he's got accuracy and all that stuff. But what happened? I mean, all 32 don't need you, but half of them need you, because half the league doesn't have a quarterback, or they have a guy that's shaky that they can bring this kid in. Or any kid in, Milrow or whoever else, Dart or whatever. What did you do in these meetings, dude? Because everybody that needed quarterbacks said, Will El Paso. And the ones that needed quarterbacks got the quarterbacks that are available in the draft right now in the first 3 rounds, and they passed up on him instead. By the way, the Dolphins are at 116. What do? Do you take him for the hell of it? Since your quarterback refuses to take care of himself, let me give you a case for taking Shadur Sanders at 116 for the hell of it. Okay, one, you take another quarterback. He might be the best quarterback in the draft. He might be the second best quarterback in the draft. You never know. But let me run this by you, why the Dolphins should take Shadur Sanders, just for the hell of it. Okay, let's sit down in Honestville, because that's what we do here, right? Is the 4th round pick that's coming up at 116 going to make your season, make or break it? No. No matter what position it is, there's a good chance. What, you're going to end up with Zach Thomas like in the 5th round? Jason in the 3rd, we're going to the 4th here. Come on, man. I mean, you know, that happens once in a blue moon, whatever. Okay. But it's not really going to happen, right? So you take Shadur Sanders. Why would you do that? Okay. Kid's got talent. Kid can pass. Kid's got anticipatory skills, got accuracy, smart, all of that, tough as nails. Actually, even more durable than Tua, because he took hits. I mean, he got killed behind that line, and he got up every time. So I give him a lot of props for that. But here's the best part, okay? Here's where, gather around, Miami Dolphin fans. Let me tell you a little story about something that they should do for the hell of it, okay? You want to, as the Hughes Corporation would say, would you like to rock the boat? Don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat. Okay. You've got the MILF monster, Zach Wilson, backing Tua up. It's like having Skyler and Tyler Huntley. Tua's like, that's on my backup? Oh, shit. You put Shadur Sanders behind him. He's like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of the ball in 2 seconds. I'm going to stay. He'll play like he played 2 years ago. He won't. He'll think twice because that is a quarterback you can get. And if he F's around and wants to do stupid things like take on tacklers and tackle people that intercept him and do stupid shit like that and get injured, you start Shadur, and then you might not get your job back. Because if he comes in and helps you win and he, can do it better than you in staying healthy, because I believe you can win with Tua, but if Tua wants to be stupid, well, since that's what he's done most of his career, except for 2 years ago, all throughout Alabama and throughout our Dolphins career here, he has chosen to do stupid things with his body. Okay. Overall, we can't blame him for Jesse Davis. We can't blame him for what was the name of the dirty linebacker, Milano? For those were the Green Bay one was his own fault. It was 5 seconds that he held the ball. So all the other ones, all the other injuries were because he held the ball too long or did something stupid. Okay? So this is his habitual nature. So since you have a quarterback who chooses to have a risky habitual nature with a body that cannot cash those kind of checks, draft Shadur for the hell of it. Why not? Why not? Okay. A fourth rounder at this point means absolutely nothing to the Miami Dolphins. That, oh my God, we wasted a fourth rounder. We took a risk. We took a stab at it. What a chance. This, that. It pays off. It doesn't. It's not the end of the world, man. It's not the end of the world. We've traded second rounders for A.J. Feely, Dante Culpepper, and what's the fool, Josh Rosen lately. You remember those? Did I just stab you in the heart? Because it got me right in the gut many, many times over. I mean, the best thing about A.J. Feely was Heather Mitts. I mean, well, yeah, we signed the quarterback. He sucks, but at least his wife is hot. So, do you take Shadur? What do you do? Do you take Shadur? Just saying. Just throw it out there for you. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation as always, and we appreciate that immensely. Matthew Toffler, thank you, sir, for the love on Cash App. He says, for timely and quality analysis, always, fins up. Thank you, Matthew. You are an absolute stud. Very kind of you. Thank you for supporting the show and helping us survive. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What else do we have here? Thank you for the super chat kickback. Do you think Chris Greer can work a 1-year deal with Miko for Brent Grimes? Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can bring Brent Grimes on, and he can play both corners. Okay, both corners. That's how good Brent Grimes is. Simultaneously, you sign him. He knows how to clone himself now. But you really get 2 for 1. It's like getting Travis Hunter playing 2 for 1 or Ohtani. By the way, let me just put my 2 cents out there. Okay, Jags, you want to continue being a clown-ass organization? You go ahead. If Travis Hunter thinks he can play both sides of the ball full-time at the NFL level, he is so wrong. And I've heard people, well, maybe he's a freak. No, bro. Ohtani can't play two ways, and it's baseball. This is football, dude. This is football now at a level where these guys are too big and too strong. The hits are brutal. Can you play them situationally as a receiver and play him corner? That's what I would do. Yeah, you can do that. Like what they would do with Dion or something like that, that you stick him out there for a receiver on a play late in the game, or use him as a returner or something like that. You want to do something like that with Travis Hunter? I don't have a problem with that. But if you think that any human being can really play full time offense and defense in the NFL, that's not going to happen, dude. It's not going to happen. So if you want to ruin the kid just because of his ego and he wants to play it, you go ahead and do that, man. But I think that's a major mistake, and players wear down. We don't play running backs full time because they wear down. Imagine asking him, yeah, we also want you to go play linebacker and corner or something besides running back. Are you kidding me, dude? You know, so yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever to ruin a super gifted player like that. I would never do anything like that. Would never do that. Would never do that. That I think is way too risky. To me, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. I don't get it. But hey, to each his own. We'll see how it works out. Maybe I'm absolutely wrong and he is the freak of all freaks. But in baseball, they can't even do it playing two ways. And that's not even contact. Johnny Pope. Thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Give me him in the fifth. Could rally when Tua goes down. Exactly. I mean, does anybody believe that Zach Wilson is bailing you out of anything? He's not bailing you out of jail. He's too busy banging broads in Boca. Because that's what he's going to be doing. He's going to be working all the broads in Boca. Come on, man. We know what the MILF monster is going to do. He's going to getting names of some of them, hot women in Boca. Had a little work. 40 plus, 50 plus. The kid's going to. That's why he wanted to sign here. It's not only because we're Miami. It's because we also have. Come on, man. We have the MILFs and the GILFs that take care of themselves and have all kinds of plastic surgery and all that. So, quality for Zach. So good for him. All right. Hey, man, when I was his age, I can understand. I was a little younger than that, but I can understand that was your priority. I get it. Not a problem. He's got one life to live. Go ahead. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy all the MILFs in the world. But do I think that when Tua goes down, because we have to say when Tua goes down because he refuses to take care of himself. So when Tua goes down, do I expect Zach Wilson to bail the Dolphins out? Hells to the no, dude. We're all fucking laughing that they signed Zach Wilson. We're all looking at each other like, really? 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 We saw what Tannenbaum was, and we still brought him here. They saw what Adam Gase was, and they still hired him there. We saw what Zach Wilson is, and we're still signing him here. And here's the best part. Here's the best part about Zach Wilson. If Zach needs anything, it's a teacher right now. Not a joke artist. I'm sorry, did Skyler improve? Was Tyler Huntley any better? Does he make Tua better? He can't even get the plays in on time for Tua. He can't even teach his offense to actually, play clean without any pre-snap penalties. He can't incorporate a large receiver into the offense for a short quarterback. He can't even get a tight end involved until the third year of the offense. He doesn't even know how to stick with the running game when it's working. What quarterback is going to succeed with that guy? Nobody. Tua, whatever success he's had, it's in spite of Mike McDaniel. And that it's proven by the way he handled Skyler and the way he handled Tyler, or the lack of the way he handled either guy. I mean, Shula knew that Woodley couldn't pass, but he used him to his max, didn't put up, tried as much as possible not to expose him. That's because the coach understands what he has. This guy put Tyler Huntley out there at first and didn't change the offense. Like he's going to run to his offense. It's like, so Zach Wilson needs a teacher now. That's not what Mike McDaniel is. There's a reason why this team has never gotten better, because he's not a teacher. He's not a leader. And that's what we've been telling you for months on the show, that a bunch of people in that building wanted out, that a bunch of people don't believe in Mike McDaniel anymore, and all of that. Anybody else tell you in local media that? Not a goddamn person, until Tony Pauly. They still don't have the best one on Tyreek yet. That's like, But anyway, that's all right. So it'll come out one day. If I don't let it out, somebody else will. I just can't right now because I'm sworn to secrecy for the moment. Kind of like the Jordan Love thing. But there's a time capsule, and I have to wait for the right moment to go open the time capsule, unfortunately. But yeah, come on, man. This is a disaster in the making, because Zach Wilson is not going to save this team at all. So I would actually, in the fourth round, at this point, what the hell? If he's there for, 15 more picks, right? It's 116. They just took 10. I think it's 102. I'm sorry. Let me look it up here. Apologies. 102, and we're at 116. There's 14 picks. 13 till Miami. If Marino doesn't take the pick, 13 picks, that 14th pick, I have no problem taking Shadur. I have Zach Wilson as my backup. That's the way I'm looking at it. Like, I'm terrified. I don't know about you guys, but I'm terrified that that's my backup. Some of you are terrified too as your starter. Oh, man. Johnny Pope is once again delivering the love on the super chat. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. If Sanders works out, he would save the cap debacle. Well, Johnny Pope, that's a beautiful point on your part, because you have him for a few years on the cheap, and you're stuck with Tua for one more year. If Tua doesn't work out, if he doesn't go and ball out this year, you're still stuck with him one more season. And at least you can start Sanders and Tua can be your backup. An expensive ass backup, but at least you deal with it one more year. And, it's a great point. You're saving a shit ton of space the first couple of years. I would do it. If I'm the Dolphins at this point, whatever you pick in the fourth round is not saving their jobs. Okay? But maybe what does save your job is when Tua goes down, the kid comes in, and just never know. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden you get the break of all break. This happened to us a long time ago. I don't want to compare it, but I'm going to say we did get a break, right? We had cocaine rumors, and he threw a bunch of interceptions his senior year. and Marino fell all the way down to the back end of the first round, and we got lucky. We got lucky. They took Todd Blackledge. They took Tony Eason. They took Kelly Young, right? And Eason, Blackledge, and what was the other guy for the Jets? Blackledge was the Chiefs. Eason was the Patriots. What was the bonehead for the Jets? Come on, man. Help me out. Somebody help me out. O'Brien. Thank you. So, no, it was only 5. It was those 3, Kelly and Marino. Right. That's how it went. Not Young. Young wasn't that year. So you only had those 2, and we got lucky, and Marino fell to us, and those 3 deadbeats got taken before Marino. I'm not comparing Shadur to anything like Marino, please. But I'm saying we get lucky, and maybe the guy works out. Who knows? I don't know. At this point, I'd try anything. Okay, I'm gonna spend a 4th rounder. Brother, I've watched my team, my beloved football team, spend 2nd rounders on all kinds of shitty ass quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Please smash the hell out of the like button. Johnny Pope, you're a stud. Another super chat. Know who comes in 2026, of course. Head coach Prime. Prime time. Coming to coach his kid. Then it becomes really interesting. I like it. I wouldn't mind. I really wouldn't. By the way, where's my beloved Bitcoin? Holding strong at 95. Oh, 94.768. But it's right around 95. Not bad. Let's see. What else do we have? Tua won't be here after 2026 season, so I would be all for drafting him. Yeah, if Tua does not have like a monster season this year, then next year will be his last, and they'll get rid of him. For sure. For sure. So, yeah, that would be the right thing to do. Todd says, I say we take a chance on Shadur. Anyone who's seen our quarterback situation throughout the years should agree with me. Todd, I agree with you. I agree with your idea, Todd. You're all over it, bro. Much love, Todd. And thank you all out there, man, for tuning in on a Friday night at 12:05, wherever you're at in the world. And thank you all for supporting the channel. Those of you that are new, if you're tuning in, we're on every day at 10 a.m. during the week. We'll be on again tomorrow to wrap up the 3rd day of the draft. And by the way, fill you in on everything going on. They've got the 116 that we talked about with Shadur coming up tomorrow in the 4th round. Then they've got 2 5th rounders, 143 and 150. And then they have 3 7th rounders. We'll be on after the 3 7th round. Well, after the 7th round is done, because I got to make sure that the draft is done and they don't trade in. I did that a couple of years ago that I did a show because I thought, okay, they're done. And then Chris Greer traded in, and I was like, shit, I had to do another show. So I just wait till the end. And thank you all for tuning in late. But in the 7th round, they have 224, 250, 231, and 253. They have 3 7th rounders. They could save us a little time. They might trade a couple to go to the 6th round or something crazy like that. Who knows? They need corners. I think they're going to be players, obviously, for veterans in free agency. Guys that are out there, and they're going to have to take low-end deals with some incentives. So they're going to be able to do stuff like that, and that's probably what they're going to have to do is settle for a lot of veterans because think about it. Are 4th, 5th, and 7th rounders really saving your season? I love the first 2 guys they got. I love James Daniels. As long as he's coming back from that injury, it's exactly what they needed at the guard spots. And we just got to hope that Patrick Paul can make the transition from college to the NFL. He didn't play much. I don't judge him at all from last year because people, oh, he graded out so poor. Dude, he barely played. You need experience. You need to make some mistakes, dude. He wasn't like a top 5 pick or something in the first round where you're looking at it and you're saying, oh, this is Jake Long. Yeah, this is plug and play. No, he was taken in the second round for a reason. You got to give the kid some time and some maturity. He's got the size. He's got the ability. He's got it all. And apparently he looks like a good kid. So let's just give it a chance, and hopefully he works out. Austin will be fine. The center's fine. The guards work out. The line will be good. Now, of course, our Dolphin luck and everything else, like that part I cannot control. Let's see. Jay Biz says great. Getting Sanders would be a great move. Casey says, can you imagine Dion would walk all over McDaniel if we drafted Shadur? Well, I think, the other gentleman is right. You might end up getting Dion to come. Like, oh, no. I'm going to go there to help out my kid. And I'd rather have Dion than any coach we've had here for forever. So I'm a Dion guy. So I don't have a problem at all with Dion. So I would take him in a heartbeat. I've been done with Mike McDaniel for a long time. People clowned on Atlanta for taking Penix. Turned out they needed him. Well, we talked about that on the show. Green Bay for 30 years has been doing it right the way when, I'm old, the way I grew up was the way Green Bay does things. And in modern football, they're the only ones still doing it for the last 30 years, where they went from Favre. They drafted Aaron Rodgers. He sat for a few years and he played. They drafted Jordan Love. He sat for a few years and he played. So they gave time for the quarterbacks to mature, to watch the game, to pick it all up. And the transition has been pretty good for these guys overall and doing it that way. You wonder why aren't other people doing it that way? Nothing wrong with bringing a kid in and instead of, sometimes I think it ruins a lot of these kids. Look at Geno Smith and what's it called? The Darnold. Like, they played much better once they left the chaos of the Jets and they were thrown in there. And if you don't give them, quarterbacks are it's an interesting breed. They can succeed, but they can't overcome everything. But yet we make it sound like they do. So when your quarterback isn't good enough, you make it sound like everybody else's quarterback overcomes everything, which is not true. Marino could overcome some shit, but he couldn't win anything that mattered. Ever. And anytime his team went up against a really good team, he got crushed 99% of the time. Was it his fault? No, dude. It was just that you had a soft-ass team. You never had really a defense. You never had a real running game. So you can't overcome everything. Mahomes, yeah, you can put up some stats. Chris Jones will help you and carry you on defense and all that. But his offensive line failed him, and he can't overcome that. The last year when Tyreek was there, his offensive line failed him. He couldn't overcome that. You could get away for a little bit because Chris Jones is helping you. The secondary's helping you. You're making some plays and Kelsey. But if you don't have that offensive line, even Mahomes is not going to overcome that. Every quarterback needs help. You got to support them. And we have done a piss poor job of supporting all of our quarterbacks. Whether it's not giving them the offensive line they need, along with the running game, along with the coaching staff and the offensive coordinator. You tell me when that entire combination has been in place. Like never, like since the 70s. That's why you'll never get anywhere. So I'm glad that they got James Daniels. I'm super glad that they got Jonah Savaiinaea. Okay. Man, Savaiinaea. Why am I? Is it like Savaiinaea in? Is it the man with the golden gun? Is his name some shit like Savaiinaea? Or something like that? The guy with the 3 nipples? Wasn't it something like, isn't there, where am I thinking there's a movie that somebody's got a name like a Savaiinaea? I don't know why. But it just triggers, the name Savaiinaea triggers something. No, Scaramanga. That's right, Scaramanga. That's right, it's Scaramanga. But Savaiinaea, okay, so it's not Scaramanga. Savaiinaea, there's something that related to a movie or something that has Savaiinaea or some related name like that. Anyway, we had Skylar Thompson as QB2. Why wouldn't we take Shadur? Dude, we have Zach Wilson. I'll take Shadur over Zach Wilson every day and twice on Sundays. Right now we got over 300 people watching. I don't know how to do a damn poll question here, and that's Sean stuff. Shadur or Zach Wilson? What would you guys take? If you know right now that you could get at 116 tomorrow, Shadur, would you rather have Shadur Sanders or Zach Wilson as your backup / potential starter? Because with Tua, everybody's a potential starter because the guy can never stay healthy. Damn, Jason wants Zach. No doubt is with Shadur. Rob Duarte Sanders. Zachary Sanders. See? I think most of you would say Shadur. I don't even want Zach Wilson on this team, to be quite honest. I don't think it's a good signing. I think it's a terrible signing. I think that kid's going to fold like a cheap tent when it's all said and done. Sanders. If we get Sanders, we get Dion, 2-pack Shadur. I'd rather take McCord from Syracuse. I do like McCord. Actually, you know what, Dolphin? I can't argue with that. I do like McCord. I like Kyle McCord from Syracuse. I can't argue with that. I like Sanders, but man, I think the McCord kid actually fits what we do here. Yeah. You know what? He's going to go before Sanders also here before the Dolphins draft. I bet. I forgot that Kyle McCord is still available. Out of all the wow, I like Kyle McCord more than Show, Milroe, and Gabriel. I know Milroe has got sick talent, but I actually like Kyle McCord's accuracy, and he's got a solid arm overall. He's an interesting prospect. He's interesting. I'm actually surprised he wasn't taken. By the way, Jalen Rivers from the U. Damian Martinez was Damian Martinez taken? I don't think so, right? I don't think I saw Damian Martinez be taken. Let me make sure, but I don't believe that Damian Martinez was taken in this draft so far. Let me see. I don't think so, right? So that's another one. Jalen Rivers, a versatile offensive lineman. That could be good. Let's see what else. Pull the plug on the Gilf guy and plug McCord instead on the Gilf guy. Natalia Simonova, a programmer in the Savaiinaea lab. And that's it. Savaiinaea lab. That's it, dude. Nice job by you, bro. GoldenEye 007. Savaiinaea lab. That's it. That's exactly it. And that's the Russian babe, the redhead. She's cute, man. That's like an underrated Bond babe. Natalia, whatever. Yes. Very good. Very good. What else do we have? Howard is even still available and could be taken. No way Damian was drafted. Running backs don't get drafted early. You're right, but I had to check because, dude, I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? So I had to check just in case I overlooked it and all that. But he probably will go now in the 4th or 5th rounds for sure. And I thought that Jalen Rivers will go somewhere in the 3rd to 4th rounds. And so maybe a couple of folks from the U will be going in this 4th and 5th round now. That'll be very, very interesting. So we'll see. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which we always appreciate that. And thank you all out there as always. Hit the like button. We got 168 likes. We got over 300 watching. We need that. Jason says, I want Shiloh. Get me McCord and Gadsden Jr. Dude, Gadsden is still available. But the problem is they already got the Tennessee kid. Can you imagine giving McDaniel 2 big receivers? He can't even get one implemented in the offense. It would be a little too much that would be mental overload for McDaniel. So I don't know. Restrepo. No. They don't. Dude, I love the kid we got last year. Jesus, what's his name, bro? The Virginia kid. I love him, dude. Along with the Tennessee kid that caught 9 touchdowns, and he's a big kid. They're fine. Washington, thank you. They're fine with the number 3 now. They're fine. Malik Washington, thank you. Malik is, dude, we're good. Tough kid. He'll be fine. I like him. And he went through some rough patches last year, and he constantly showed me that he bounced back and didn't fold. And he had some rough patches where he had some drops that weren't normal for him, you know? So I like Malik a lot. I think they got themselves a nice little tough football player there. And then the kid, the Icahn, whatever the hell his name is, the kid that caught 9 touchdowns from Tennessee, big receiver, which I think is important for Tua, that you get Jonah and a big receiver involved in the offense to make it, because we have a coach that likes to throw fades to Oompa Loompas. Again, that doesn't help your quarterback. That doesn't help the receiver. That doesn't help your team. Your fans are pissed off. That's all just stupid stuff that this guy does on a consistent basis, and why nothing fixes Mike McDaniel. That's why I'm glad that the guys we got now, Savaiinaea and Grant, these are guys that will translate if you change coaches. Every other coach is going to want them. They're going to need them. They fit pretty much any offense, any defense that you're going to run. So I like it. I like it that those players will translate. Tommy in Hialeah, he's laying in the hospital trying to buy Super Chat, but need Cash App info. Oh, here you go. Thank you, my brother. There's the logo, the QR code. Thank you, sir. Very nice of you. Appreciate you. Let's see. Will Mike McDaniel call screen passes on 3rd and short situations? Oh, man. And Tommy, by the way, just laying here in a hospital or hosp. Are you all right, bro? That sounds kind of is it serious or what's the deal or what's? Anyway, Jay Myers says Malik is more of a do-it-all player. I'd like to see him expand his route tree, but he's got potential. I like him, Jay. I think that was a good player that they picked last year. I think he'll be just fine. You want Will Howard? Let's see. We can't have dogs when we don't have a dog handler. Just saying for those. Yeah, but the dog handler will be gone at the end of the year. So you got to get dogs, man. You got to get the dogs. You need them. You need to have some badasses. They will outlast the dog handler, because the dog handler doesn't get it done this year. He's out, bro. He's absolutely out. So that's the reality of where we're at. These guys, unfortunately, have backed themselves into a corner where they've got to save their asses. That's why, these trades, like the Jalen Ramsey one, I don't think it'll happen tomorrow. It has to happen after June 1st, because that's how they get an easier cap break. If they do it now, it becomes crippling. That's why they can't do the Tyreek one. And the Tyreek one, they don't even want to do that one, because there's no way they can make up for it. They're not going to get any value for it. They actually have to suck it up and deal with the fool for the entire year. They need to. That's how we need to count on people like Tyreek and Zach Wilson. And to a certain extent, Tua, because since he refuses to take care of himself, we have to blame him for that. I can't give him a break on that. I could give him a break for the shit that happens with McDaniel and no offensive line and all that, but I can't give him a break when he is irresponsible with his body. Not doing that, dude. Hell's to the no. No freaking way. So what can I tell you? Folks, don't forget, we are also trying to go to Spain. I don't know if this season will be special. I doubt it. But the game against the Bengals in Spain, because that's what the rumor is, the mayor of Madrid let it out. We're trying to go, so we need your help. There's the QR code. You can make a donation. Any kind of donation would be helpful to help us get to España. So there you go. Help us hit the first target. We'll do our show all week long. There's a Dolphins bar in Spain. This will be the first time we have broadcasted from Dolphin bars all over the country. We have yet to broadcast from a Dolphins bar outside of the country. This will be our first one. There's a Dolphins bar in Madrid. They got a Dolphin fan club and everything. We're going to get the Dolphin fan club president on in the next week. NorCal's getting me in touch with him. We're going to have some fun. I'm going to try to start getting him involved in all this. And we'll do our pre- and post-game show from there also at the Dolphin Bar. We'll do our show all week long and break any Dolphin stories and all that kind of stuff like we normally do and have some fun. So help us achieve the goal of broadcasting for the first time ever at a Dolphins bar outside of the country. We've broadcasted in Dolphin bars in Seattle, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Flagler Beach, which is like Daytona, Manhattan, Buffalo. What other? I think there's another Dolphin bar, but anyway, so we broadcasted at a lot of Dolphin bars already across the country. We did an Indy, but that really wasn't a Dolphins bar, so I can't give them the love because they're not really a Dolphins bar. But the other place that I talked about, there's actually a Dolphins bar in effing Buffalo. That's some shit right there. Okay. That's some shit. We broadcasted from there last year. It's awesome. Great people. Anyway. So there you go. There's the QR code. Help us get there. Appreciate you all out there as always. Jay Myers, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, have a good trip. Good luck. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you. Jimbo says, if Dolphins get a cornerback and double dip at defensive tackle and maybe get Sanders, this is all about the Fins can get out of this draft to call it a good one. Jimbo, it doesn't matter anyways. I don't think it saves their jobs. I just want players that are good and can translate for the next couple of years because you'll probably change coaches at the end of the year. And I want players that can translate to other offenses and defenses. And so far, that's what these two guys do. And I think that's very important. So Holt says, with all due respect, when a player whines and leaves a club due to money, we're playing Russian roulette with their talent, a.k.a. Tyreek Hill and Ramsey. Well, the Rams also were giving up on him because they were also turning over the roster. Well, and they had the eye of when to give up on him. We don't do a good job of that sometimes. The Heat doesn't do a good job of that, and neither do the Dolphins lately. They hang on to guys a little too long, and that's the sad part, But that happens. What are you going to do? Happens to the Heat all the time, You seem extremely optimistic, Big O. That's funny. I like that. That's good shit. All right, folks. We're out of here. It is 12:30. I appreciate all of you out there, as always, tuning in. Please hit the hell out of the like button before you go and support the show. Visit our amazing sponsors. We've got great sponsors, as always. So please visit them. People like Caneswear. Use our code, by the way, Big O10. You will get 10% off at Caneswear. Very, very cool to get 10% off on anything there at Caneswear, or go to caneswear.com. If you order online over $99, you will get free shipping. I got this Dolphins hat there. They got lots of Dolphin hats, a lot of them with the real logo, by the way, Heat stuff, Panthers, Inter Miami, and of course, anything and everything with the logo on it. So please visit our friends, Slomin's Home Shield, 1-800-ALARM-ME, Acura of Pembroke Pines, of course, R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall, BigCheeseMiami.com. Appreciate you all out there. Please support our sponsors that support us and keep us going. We'll see you tomorrow after day 3 of the NFL Draft.